This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
With almost 500,000 customers and over $1 trillion of secure payments, Bill isn't new to intelligent finance. It's the proven way to simplify bill pay and maximize cash flow. Want to learn more? Visit Bill.com/proven for a special offer.
This episode is proud to be sponsored by Now, where you can stream Sky Sports flexibly. Catch the biggest games this season how you want, when you want. The football season is back, and you can keep up with all the action on Sky Sports with a Now membership. Whether you're perched on the edge of your sofa or hiding behind it, you can capture more of the drama this season with Now. The heat of the moment, the 90th minute winner, that last-ditch tackle, the pride on the line, and the best bit, you can dip in for the derby or stay for the season. With a Now month membership, you can stream all Sky Sports channels flexibly. No fuss. Go to nowtv.com to find out more about sports memberships. 18 plus, UK only. Minimum speed 2.5 megabits per second. Live scheduling may be subject to change. Full terms apply.
Welcome to Story of the Blues. Over the months, the weeks and years, we'll be linking up with former players, staff and fans alike, all associated with our wonderful football club, and we will be having a look at Kieth Dixon's phenomenal book, 150 years of a remarkable football club. Tonight we have, with Kieth Dixon, the legend, one of the greatest players ever to put on the Birmingham City kit. We've done a decade in blue with Joe. We're doing 2 decades of blue with Malcolm Page. 391 appearances, 9th in the all-time appearance chart for Birmingham, and 10 goals for the Royal Blue, for the red and white, for the not the Belgian kit, but the German kit, and the white kit as well. Malcolm Page, welcome to Stories of the Blues, sir.
Thank you very much.
And can I just say...
It's absolutely fantastic to be here and just present myself in some way for the club.
Can I just say from every fan, thank you for your years of service.
Oh, thank you.
So, Malcolm, you were born in Knocklas, a village in Wales. Talk to me about those early years growing up around and playing football, because you know the land of song is from where you come from, Wales. The king of Knocklas, the prince of Wales.
Yes, it's I try and if it is possible, but yes, the reason I was born in Wales was because my mother travelled. We lived just on the border area of England, Wales, and my mother visited an auntie in the year I was born, and I was born in Wales.
Yeah.
And you know why? I don't know. The traffic issues and things like that. Maybe she went on a bicycle.
The road was closed.
But I was born in Wales under a gooseberry bush, apparently, and and so that's why I was born in Wales. And then from then on. Although I went back to Wales, back to England to live. And then at the age of 15, my life changed. Yeah. And a man called Gil Merrick approached my wife, my family and everything. And that's where my life began with the Blues.
So it was always football and not rugby?
Not rugby. Not rugby at all. No football. I used to play for the school team or the county team, my father used to be a referee locally and stuff, and my headmaster said, "Couldn't he get rather than school teacher, doing
yeah.
these matches and think, would your father, a proper referee, not doing? And I said, yes, I'll do it. And then, of course, he did this match that I was playing in, and I got injured, and he come around over to me, he said, are you all right, son? And I said, all right. He said, I don't want you to tell me that I'm your father. And I said, yes, Dad. So,
and the cat was out of the bag, so
There
to
was
speak.
the cat out
You
of the bag.
referenced Gil Merrick. Keith, you've written the book on the great man. When you're looking at the all-time Birmingham City appearance makers, Gil is top on 551. Frank Womack, 515. What a goalkeeper, what a man, what a legend. You wrote the book. Malcolm wrote the foreword. And talk briefly about the foreword, because there's a lovely line that I've just said Malcolm should quote that, and Malcolm Page's name should be under that. So take the floor, Keith, for a bit. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, well, it was Gil's request. Malcolm, we had a long discussion in Bill's Lane in Shirt. I mean, it was such a privilege going into Gil's home. And in some ways, Gil's personality was personified by his house. I've been to other people like, and this is no disrespect, people like Paul Robbins.
Yeah.
They've actually got a museum
Really?
in their house. Gil had just got one photograph of him, which was the cover off of Charles Buchan's Football Monthly,
Yes.
if you remember that
Yeah.
magazine.
Bit before my time, but I do remember it.
Well, it wasn't before my time anyway. But Gil was such a wonderful bloke, and he sort of requested in doing the book that it was done in a certain way, which I was more than happy to do. And he asked whether we'd get Malcolm to look at the forward, which I spoke to him. And Malcolm did his first draft, which was about a half a page of A4. To which I said, that's great, Malc, but you're not actually talking about yourself,
Yeah.
which is typical of the man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very modest. So anyway, I sent him a draft, which he embellished to the fact that it was about 5 or 6 pages in the book.
Biography.
But it is a great forward for a great book. And there's one thing that Malcolm, for me, as a blues fan, personifies what the blues want.
Yeah.
100% effort, great skills, a total commitment, enthusiasm, and, scores like a
Crackers.
goal.
Yeah.
But one of the things about Malcolm is loyalty to them. And the opening sentence in the forward, and I'll read it because I can't remember all the words. It starts off, a man without loyalty does not exist.
Fabulous line.
Says
Quote.
it all.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way Malcolm's led his life. But that's for him to say, not for me. But it was a great experience, Gil Merrick. Gil Merrick was a real fast seller. Went to softback very quickly,
Lovely.
which pleased the publishers. And the nice thing about it, it's still selling today because he was such a legend.
Absolutely. He
True
didn't like
that.
the nickname 13, though, did he?
Which was a bit unfair. Because the story behind that as well, which Gil
Yeah,
is in
absolutely.
Gil's
Hungary.
book, is in those days the England team was selected by a committee.
Yeah.
And the committee were always influenced by the FA Cup teams.
Go, yeah.
So we had about 3 or 4 Blackpool players
Yeah, yeah.
put in that 1963 Hungary side.
53.
Was it 53?
Yeah, 53, 53, 54.
Age means nothing.
Absolutely.
But no, and so it was the 53 final,
yeah.
and it meant 3 or 4 of the Blackpool
right.
players came in,
Yeah.
and it was a weakened England team, and we got done.
Yeah.
But
But there you go.
he
Gil,
didn't like 13.
what was Gil like to play for? And let's talk as well briefly about Don Dorman, because Don was probably, after Robert Baden-Powell, the greatest scout that we've known.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, those people were the first 2 peoples in my life in coming to Birmingham City Football Club.
Yeah.
I mean, they were, and I just think to yourselves now, and I'm thinking, if I this story now to somebody else, they wouldn't believe it, but I went to school one day, and I'd gone through the morning and stuff like that, and then I went into the cafe where we used to have our lunch for the schools and thing, and there was, who I didn't know at that time, was Gil Merrick and your man.
Don Dorman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I'm thinking, and ever since then, I thought, well, God Almighty, that doesn't happen now, does it, or anything like that? No,
not at all.
But there was, and then it went from that to me, to me being invited down to the ground and stuff like that. And Gil Merrick had a big Ford Zephyr, didn't he? And he was slapping them. And Don Dunn was sliding across backwards and forwards. He was changing me to the training ground and the ground and all that sort of thing. And I thought, what a wonderful sort of... And I don't know whether I could have ever accepted it or wanted anything else than that. The St Andrews invited to me, and it sold me to them, and ever since then, and to the days today, I am totally influenced with
died in the wall blue now,
everything.
Change your life, didn't they, them boys?
Yeah, I'm a big fan, and we all are big fans of the different, but I couldn't say I just love the club so much, and. Just going on from there a little bit, but I was never somebody with a great deal of confidence and things like that, and playing at home and things like that. I'm under so much pressure. I want the crowds to do us well, and and it was just a bit of a stressful time.
Well, you masked it very well, Malcolm, in 391 games.
I know.
Confidence that you lacked, certainly.
I know that.
The endeavour that come out.
Well, I did what I best, and it was something that was acceptable. But I just I wanted to always do better for our home fans, especially, and that's where I'm a Blues fan. Yeah, I'm a Blues fan. Yeah. That's it.
Fantastic. What was it like arriving in a big city like Birmingham as a 15-year-old kid? I mean, to come from a place like Nuckless to Birmingham, almost quantum leap, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, well, it was big stuff. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I came to the club, and Don Gorman and Gil again presented me to my... people that were going to be taking me on in the house, and where my lodgings were going to be everything. And they said, this is Mr. and Mrs. Herbert, and this is their dog. What's his name and stuff like that. And they presented me to the that £3, £15 a week. Yeah, that was my lodgings for then my ongoing situation, and in Sheldon. Yeah, and. That's where I went from, and I get picked up by the bus and stuff like that, going out to
Elmdon, in them days,
training ground and stuff like that, and pick me up and stuff like that. And it was such a it was so happy expected, but it was. I really loved it.
Some of your teammates that you grew up with there in those days, because that would have been you made your debut. What's your debut? 64, but 64, you would have come in what 60, 62? Was it 63?
Yeah, 62 I started, and my first was against Everton in 65. I think it was just 2 or 3 days after my 18th birthday. Yeah, and played against Everton away, and. There was a guy called somebody, and he was Young? Alex Young. Yeah. He was
half decent. He was, wasn't he?
And I was supposed to be going, keep him out of the game and all that sort of thing. But it was so fantastic, and and I thought, oh, I made it now. And then we came into the dressing room afterwards and stuff like that. And we used to have the larger swim pools sort of things. In
the big bath. Yeah.
And and Stan Lynn played in the same team as me that night, that day. Yeah. And he said, and I said, because the Sunday People, I think, just started this marks out of 10 for things.
Yeah.
I said, I'll have to wait till I get it. And Stan Lynn said, he put me in the place straight away. He said, no, you just got to make sure you would do what your manager wants and all that sort of thing.
What was Stan Lynn like? I mean, he was a great penalty taker, wasn't he?
Oh, he was, yeah. Well, he was fantastic. Great player.
He would have been one of the senior pros around in them days, wouldn't he, Stan?
Yeah, well, he was. Yeah, he came to Birmingham, and he was just one of those players that were getting passed across to. And I think was the manager at that time. It was Joe Mallet, I think, at that time.
Yeah, he probably would have.
Whether he passed him on or not, or it was before Joe, I don't know. But I know that Joe was the first manager that gave me the opportunity.
Yeah, because you served under Gil, then Joe Mallet. Unfortunately, took us down.
Gil might have been on the edge of possibly signing. Stanley, possibly. I don't know. I can't remember.
And then Stan Cullis, Don Dorman, and Bill Shorthouse for a while.
Bill Shorthouse, yeah. God, Stan Cullis, yeah, I remember Stan.
What was Stan like? He was a bit of a character. He come out of retirement, didn't he, to manage Birmingham?
Yeah. Well, I've got a little story about Stan. I mean, he forgive me for laughing at that. But we had a bit of a spasm when he was with us, and Fred Pickering was up front. Like that. And then we went through a bit of a bad spell, really, and Fred, I think. He got injured and he came out of the team, and I came into the team.
Yeah.
And then when Fred got picked again, Stan put him back in the team, and replaced me with Stan. But I was different position about it. And I think it was Fred. Joe Mallet said to me, he said, "You need to go and have a chat with the manager and stuff, and see why you've been left out." And Fred's been coming back in, and so I went to see Stan, and I said to him about this and stuff like that, and he said, there is a reason, he said, but I can't tell you what it is. Stan Cullis. This is Stan Cullis, yeah.
The fact that he was a former England international centre forward.
Yeah.
Keith, what was those days like? Because you was a fan in them days, like late 60s. We had some great players in it. It must have been a joy to watch Malcolm and the boys ply the trade. And to get Fred Pickering from Everton, massive coup, wasn't it? And we had Barry Bridges, Jeff Foden, Johnny Vincent. We scored in that 67-68 season. We scored 83 goals. If the Watney Cup was about in the late 60s, we'd have been in the Watney Cup. We could have even won the Watney Cup.
Now, Fred was a great player.
Yeah.
And I had the privilege of meeting him in his home in Blackburn.
Because there is a piece, isn't there, in one of your books?
Well, it's an article I did for the Blues. Have had two magazines in the past. They've both gone into deceasement, if that's the right word, or death is probably the word. But this was, and I was doing my time at the Blues. I went to see Fred, and Fred was still living in the same house that he grew up in Blackburn. Within the view of Ewood Park.
Wow!
And he told this story that there was a hospitality area for players. Ronnie Clayton. Brian Douglas and Fred Pickering there were walking into this lounge, and the security stopped them, and they said, "What are you doing here?" And they explained, and they said, "Okay, you can come in, Mr. Douglas, Mr. Clayton, but Mr. Pickering, you can't come in because you weren't playing for Blackburn Rovers when you got capped for England." So you know what happened? Brian Douglas, Clayton turned around and walked out. Fred. Loyalty again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. But he was a great player, Fred.
Sorry, but
you crack on now.
Fred was living in the house before my wife and I got married and stuff, and he was in this what used to have houses, rental houses.
The club owned them.
Club houses and stuff. And we went into it, and I don't know where he moved on or something like that, but Mary and I moved into it, and there was a shed down the bottom of it. It was full of bottles.
Bit like today, isn't it? No recycling. He liked to top, did he, Fred Pickering?
Well,
he liked to
must
top.
have done it. Yeah. I think he did. Well, he was
heavy drinking friends.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Was there much of a drinking culture back in them days, Mark?
Well, I think no,
playing cards, drinking, bookies.
Yeah,
Kenny Burns was one of our bookies, wasn't he? Later on,
but no, but that was against and. Like, for instance, you weren't allowed to go onto licensed premises after a Wednesday if you were playing on a Saturday and things like that. And, a group of mine like Alan Campbell. And Alan Campbell is the most fantastic player for me that I played with him. And he was terrific, I thought. And we used to go on a Friday, on a Wednesday, to a club or whatever and stuff like that, and but we always used to be back, and not go out after that and things. We had a black man that came across from Nigeria to join the club, and they were given the opportunity to learn coaching and things like that. And so Alan and I encouraged him to come out with us with this pub the one night, and then we went to another place and they wouldn't let us in because he was black.
Really? Blimey.
Incredible, yeah.
Oh.
But again, Alan Campbell, what a top player he was, wasn't he? Alan Campbell,
to me,
skillful player, wasn't he?
I keep looking back at my career with him, and I thought he was the most fantastic player that, and I really still think that Trevor, I owed a lot to him in terms of what he managed to do and things like that. And I think Alan has probably not been given as much thing as he could have done. But
again, I think there's some players,
fantastic.
Yeah, within clubs get the adulation and all the star quality. But when you're looking at the 70s, we had the Trinity, didn't we, of Latchford, Francis and Hatton. But I mean, Campbell, Page and Pendry for me, were just as and Gordon Taylor on the wing. Ray Martin, how many games did Ray play for the Blues as well?
Yeah.
Big Joe, Stan Arland. Stan come from Swindon after.
We're all be together still. We all remain friends still, and we still think we feel a bit amazing what we did really in many ways. And
you lived the dream, didn't you? Playing football, keeping yourself fit for a living, and playing for a club and the adulation of the fans.
Yeah,
if you could go back to any particular time at the Blues, not a particular season, was there any time that stood out for you more than any other time? Because 68, you played in the Cup semi-final, 68. You played in the Cup semi-final in 72. Played the Cup semi-final again in 75 as well. Is there any particular time that you remember more fondly?
No, strangely enough. I just...
All great times.
Yeah. Yeah. I must have to say that I had a problem with nerves and things and stuff like that, and presenting things with it. And, if I could get through a game and not do anything stupid or stuff like that, I was really happy about it and things like that. And we did go through bad times and things like that. And I got stick from, from the crowds and things like that, like we all do. But... It was a bit of a battle at times, but I think we a lot of the team that we did battled through it, and we came out of it at the end, and that's what I remember about it, and I was so happy about the Blues fans and things like that. And I could still go down now and watch every game and stuff like that. And it's just, what was that we were saying about loyalty? Was that...
Get your book open again.
Is it?
Yeah,
well, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still feel loyal to Birmingham, and I can't get away from that.
Absolutely.
Well, I remember the time where... 2011 when we went down to Wembley.
Arsenal.
And we caught the train at Solihull. And who was in the queue?
Yeah.
Malcolm. And who was he with?
Gary Pendry. Oh, Alan Campbell.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they were part of the fans.
Is Alan still around in Birmingham?
I believe
Because
so.
we bought him up from Tilton, didn't we, in '71?
Yeah.
Part of the the promotion team. Love to get Alan on the show.
I have to say, he was such a great
bloke
player.
Yeah.
And when he was in his team,
Yeah.
he worked hard and he was skillful and and I think TF, Trevor, and him together, they were.
Well, the forwards need
they were-
the balls pushed through, don't they? What we said is
Well, they measure it now,
Midfield.
don't they, with the
Yeah.
assists and all that. I mean,
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
what the assists would be for somebody like Alan
Oh,
now,
absolutely.
if they were actually recording that statistic.
Yeah.
But I still feel together. And could I just say now that obviously, and in my early 60s, when I first joined the club, there was a great fella called Graham Sissons,
Yes.
who's recently lost his life. And then another fella that was with me, Phil Summerall.
Yeah, Phil Summerall.
And they've got funerals coming up, so I would like to sort of say, and we're in the process of making sure that we're all going to go to come to support them and their families on this on those dates.
Yeah.
Well, to a certain extent, Phil was very much like Gordon Taylor, an unsung hero.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
3
he scored-
seasons on the spin, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was top goal scorer. He
Yeah.
scored the
Absolutely,
fastest goal
yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
And the fastest
Exactly.
hat trick as well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All sort
I believe,
of
yeah,
83, 85,
Yeah,
87,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you look at his record,
And a local lad, was he
impressive.
born in Hall Green? Phil Summerhill.
I'm not
Oh,
sure.
he's
I think he's a
he's
local
very
lad,
local
wasn't
lad,
he?
I
Yeah,
know
I think
that.
it is all green.
Yeah, I'm sure he's all
Absolutely.
green, yeah.
Local,
I mean, again, a little bit before my time, but I remember Phil Summerhill. All the players had the songs, didn't they? They were all... And brothers, brothers, the Latchford brothers, what other brothers have we had?
Oh, yeah.
What other brothers have we had?
The Bullocks.
What?
The Bullocks. the Bullocks.
That's my line to you, wasn't
hasn't
it?
been
Bullock
anything.
brothers.
Well, I went up recently to, as I say, Mickey Bollocks. Mickey Bollocks. No, Mickey Bollocks.
He wasn't that better player. Come on.
Mickey Bollocks, who passed away recently, and
Yeah.
Peter, his brother, was there, and he was a little bit older than him. And, so we, and Peter was always a bit sort of feeling about, why is Mick in the team and I'm not sort of in the team? But anyway, no, but they're both great players, really, and stuff. And another player that I went up to was Jimmy Calderwood. In Scotland, and he was a fine player as well, And what we do with our former players is to try and support these.
Yeah, sure. Are you still involved in the Former Players Association,
Yes,
Malcolm?
I am, yeah.
He's the second best looking player, best looking bloke.
Who's
the
the best looking one on
Tom
the I'll tell you what,
I'm
Tom.
saying that because I'm sure Tom is listening.
Well, Tom always would do, especially from I mean, what a job Tom does for the Former Players Association and the All Stars as well, raising an amazing amount of money for local charities. So anything that we can do for the Former Players Association, just ask. Well, we have. You're part of the team, ain't you?
It is a very. It's not a registered charity. Things it does is fabulous.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we've got, and Malcolm is very much part of it. We have a golf day, which is completely free to the members of the former players.
Is that an annual or
no? It
monthly?
No. Sort of every other year.
Oh, okay, biannual.
Yeah, annual.
Bit like a foxglove.
You're very good with a dictionary, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm very good with gardening as well. Malcolm's very good at golf. There's a lovely picture that I put on with you and Mary in your front room with a potter and a few golf balls.
That was quite a yeah.
And the green grass of home. That Mary's in the green grass of home. And there's quite a Welsh connection there. Yeah. There stood Mary.
Yeah.
But there's just focusing on the foreign players as well. So one minute we're sort of setting up a golf day down at Alton Golf Club.
Is it always there at Alton?
Yeah, because Mike Wiseman's there as well.
Got ya.
And he's a member of the committee as well. But, on one hand, we're dealing with that. The next minute, we're doing a refurbishing Jeff Hall's grave.
Yeah.
The sort of activities that we embark on are for the former players. It doesn't cost the former players anything.
Yeah, sure.
So we are dependent on sponsors.
How can people get involved with the Former Players Association, Keith? Because there must be a lot of brummies out there that might have a few quid spare and thinking, well, I'll chuck it into the kitty, the Former Players Association.
Yeah, well, that would be great if they could.
How they get involved?
Well, there's a website.
Okay.
bcfclegends.co.uk.
Yeah.
And it's also on Facebook. But yeah, there's a guy called Pete Hall who's very active.
I know Pete. Pete was going to come in here today.
Oh, great.
But but he was working late, so he couldn't. But I want to get Pete because it's not just about the players; it's about the fans as well. And Pete does a great job. I've known Pete for a long time. Top bloke. Yeah.
And it's nice to with the All Stars as well because quite recent legends are playing now. Paul Robinson I mentioned earlier. Lucas has played for us as well. Yeah, which is great. And it's just keeps that community going. And it's all about the word again. The theme of tonight: loyalty.
Awful news about Jason Bowen as well. Being a former player, he's not very well. He's a motor neurone disease. Apparently he's losing the use of his legs, and that's a horrible disease. So our love and sympathies go out to Jason and his family. Yeah. So maybe worth a phone call to Jason and just, Jace, how are you? Because we're all part of a family, and
of course,
and that's what it's all about.
I'd be surprised if Tom wasn't aware of it.
Yeah, I'm sure Tom will be doing that. Mind you, he's got another Malcolm. He's going up to have a chat with Malcolm as well. Because Malcolm Beard will be the longest, the player, the oldest former player, isn't he, now with Graham passing away. And 5 victorious games against the Villa, Malcolm, well done. Yeah. You've 5 victorious. It's in Keith's book, hold on. Let me just...
God, where do you find all these strange bloody issues?
Bad blood.
Bad
blood. A really biased look on the Blues and the
Totally
Villa by Dicko.
I don't want to sort of just take time away from Malcolm, but there's a great story with bad blood. Because Ian was the manager. Ian Dutton. Dutton.
Oh,
I showed him the book. He said, we can't stuck it in the shop.
Yeah.
I said, why not? Yeah. He said, well, it's the title. He said, it'll spoil our efforts to have a meaningful relationship with our near neighbours. I said, you're talking.
I've tried that, it don't work.
Right, that very same night we had an event on there.
Oh, yeah.
And Frank Worthington come out. I was on the same table as Ian Dutton. I got a few books wrapped up in brown paper to sell. And Frank Worthington came on, and as soon as he walked in, SOTV. Okay, louder, and all the crowd. And I just looked over to Ian and said, "That's what you call a special relationship with our near neighbours."
Frank always had a way with words.
Oh, God.
And the book became the 13th bestseller in Villa on Amazon.
Blimey.
So the Villa fans must have been buying it as well, presumably to put beyond.
I was going to say probably as a doorstop or to burn it.
Sorry, but that was.
But there is. I mean, there is bad blood between the two clubs, and never the twain shall meet. I mean, I for me sins, and I'm not going to go there. But half of my family are Villa, and I do try and kind of stick together, kind of a little bit. But I've just completely lost that. No. It's all gone. But what was it like playing in those games? I remember Birch telling me in '77, he said he went on the pitch just to test the pitch and see what it's like. His first time at Villa Park for the Blues. And he's gone out, he's come back in rather sheepishly, and he says, blimey, they're taking it a bit serious here, don't they? They're all fighting on the pitch. I mean, there was fighting on the pitch and off the pitch as well in them days. There weren't great spectacles, but there must have been great games to play in Malcolm, them derbies.
Yeah, well, yes, they were, yes. But, I mean, I seem to see things now. When I look at the results from the applause and things that comes out now, I get a little bit concerned about over violence issues. That are shown with them. I don't know. That might be wrong with me, but I mean, I've been so much involved with.
Over 90 of the top 100 U.S. accounting firms trust Bill to simplify and secure bill pay. That's proven financial infrastructure built on over $1 trillion of secure payments. Visit Bill.com/proven for a special offer.
just supporting the club that I belong to and things like that. But I wouldn't. Sometimes I think I could never get to the situation where it is now, and even within the game now, you know, with the rolling over and assessing stuff like that
wouldn't have happened in your day
and stuff. I just have to.
Well, it's a different game for you, isn't it, when you watch? I remember Johnny Joel saying to me, he says, Paul, in the 70s, you had to commit GBH to get a booking. I mean, now you've only got to look at someone and you're in the book, ain't you? Yeah. It's quite ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. Talking about being in the book, in the programme there, the magnificent, the last one against Sheffield United, Christophe Dugarry. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Dugar. A couple of days ago, wasn't it? Malcolm Page is in this book. There are three people in here.
I noticed, on my colour.
You were the first player to score a goal for Blues in colour television. QPR away in the red kit. In the red kit, was it? Your red kit. I don't think in them days there was any markings on that red kit. It was just a red kit, wasn't it?
Sure.
And it was also, because it was on the 27th of December 1969, so it was the last goal of the 60s that you scored. So it's the first game in first goal in colour, last goal of the
it's
the 60s.
Nice to have something like that. It feels me a bit,
exactly,
you know, I still following the Blues up and every match I'm at, and you know, it means a lot to me that they progress and get some wins,
silverware as well. Silverware on there. 15
it's
different
so
kits we had in the 70s. You know, in terms of like blue and white. I mean, this the double penguin kit. That's in the club shop. I think it was 32 quid that I bought it in the. This kit, the double penguin kit, was worn. This is Chris Dunn's words, not me. I'm not that clever. I look at things and I'm a little bit like a bit of a parrot and then a little bit of a kind of jackdaw or a magpie, just nick things, you know what I mean? But I always give them. So Chris Dunn, who writes a brilliant piece about the shirts, we're going to talk about the programme because I think the programme is fantastic. But it was worn 21 times across 2 seasons, 74-75, 75-76. In 74-75, we wore it 13 times, 2 wins, 6 losses and 5 draws. And for 75-76, it was worn 8 times, 1 win, 5 losses and 2 draws. Curiously, this gets me, the short-sleeved version had no Blues badge on it, but the long-sleeve version did. It is quite bizarre. And also in the FA Cup, we wore the white kit a lot. That's the kit that you scored the wonderful goal from 35 yards against Huddersfield in 1972, Malcolm.
It was more like about
50.
10 yards.
But there used to be, if the colours clashed, like with Huddersfield in that game, blue and white, both teams had to change their strips. That's why we both played Leeds United and Birmingham in the away kits in 1972 Cup semi-final. It used to be a mad, quirky, like FA ruling, you know, so the white kit was...
Well, I find it difficult to ascertain the reason we do well is because of the shirt that we wore. I am afraid it's going to be more about the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the manager and the coaches and they're doing.
Freddie Goodwin. I can't believe there's no book biography about Freddie. I mean, what a legend of a manager. A Busby Bay, played for Leeds. Legend Freddie. Yeah.
Well, that's what I wrote down a bit ago. Freddie was the first manager that changed from the original manager issues that were there at times. Yeah. And he brought more modernisation of functioning of players and you know, and stuff like that. And he was a big change to me as far as I'm concerned. Freddie,
What was he like as a man and a manager? Was Freddie astute tactically, of course? Yeah. But was he a man manager as well?
Yes, he was. Yeah. Yes. And I think all round he was a manager that you know, for the old-fashioned ways into the new function. That was.
So in many ways he was the ideal manager to take us really into the 70s, into a new decade of football. And I mean, we played some football in the 70s. And that Penguin kit,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a fantastic kit. But you looked at the Penguin kit, you knew it was the Blues then, that Penguin kit. It was like, you know.
Yeah, but he was absolutely fantastic. But I remember him when I broke my leg against, against Chelsea, I think, at Blues, at home. I broke my leg and I had to go to the hospital, and the following day I had to go to get strapped up, and Freddie came and picked me up. I mean, you know what they do now? He came and picked me up and all that sort of thing, and got me into the hospital and things like that. But you wouldn't get.
No, you wouldn't.
Wouldn't happen.
No. I remember Oppie telling us, God rest his soul, when he broke his leg, his mate had to take him up the accident hospital. He'd still got the Blues kit on. Yeah. You know, it's like how things change. Yeah. But I think that could be your next. How many books have you written about the Blues? Because you done one, Jackie Sill, didn't you?
Yeah, Jackie Sill, that was an interesting one because it obviously has no connection with the Blues.
No, absolutely. But, Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't he? Jackie Sill.
Wednesday, yeah. I mean, at one stage he was the top transfer, £35,000, I think. But Jackie was an incredible opportunity. Yeah. Because I rang him, and in a way, this has got something to do with why there's not a book on Freddie Goodwin.
Okay.
Because I rang him to get a quote for Gill, and Jackie Sill's reaction was, "Oh, bloody typical Merrick. Oh, he gets everything." He said, "Well, nobody's written a book on me." He said, "I was this and that, you know, the top transfer."
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'll talk to my publishers and see what they think. So I spoke to Derby Books, and they said, we can sell a few of these because he's got such a wide range. He spent a lot of he took football to Africa as well, Jackie Sill.
Right, okay.
So don't talk too much about a Villa man.
Yeah.
But that's the reason that there aren't books about like Jim Smith, Freddie Goodwin. Because to get them published, there's got to be a market for it. Yeah. With all due respect, the market for Freddie Goodwin would be intense.
Yeah.
In small leaves,
it would be,
Garrett's Green, etc. But for a publisher to make the commitment,
isn't that sad though?
It is. But that's the reason. I mean, you look as a writer. Yeah. All I do. That's in inverted commas, of course. is send the required number of words in a Word document. Yeah. And some ideas about images. And the structure's mine. But then they have to go through legal, they have to go through design, they have to print it, they have to... It's immense expense to the publisher that they risk. That's not in any way down to me. So it's a big thing. And that's why there aren't the books like this. The Blues book, I mean, they approached me, the 150
That was Pitch, wasn't it, that published
Pitch. That? But you look at the number of books they do, it's a major investment.
Phenomenal.
So they have to have a return on investment, and somebody like Freddie, which would be a great read, probably only sell, I don't know, 200 books.
Yeah, not many. As I say, it is sad because, I mean, he was an absolute legend.
Oh, absolutely. But he's in there. There's a couple of pages in there.
Freddie.
And there's a page on Jim Smith as well. Because they were great characters.
Yeah.
Now, Jim Smith liked to drink.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know whether you knew that.
Oh, no, I mean, I think when he signed Frank, I think his quote was, "I've just signed a player that drinks more whiskey than me." Yeah. But they go back to the old days of Halifax with, because Jim played with Frank's brother, older brother, didn't he, at Halifax.
So,
and Frank used to, just as a kid, go down there and have a kickabout. What was he like, Malcolm? Have you got many memories of Frank Worthington? Frank coming into Birmingham City must have been, Frank Worthington, character.
A few.
Yeah. Anything that you can tell us about that not libelous?
Well, no.
You weren't there. You weren't there with Birch and Curbs before the Chelsea game, was you? In 79-80 season. They went out to one of the restaurants, didn't they? And had not many beers, but I think it was. Was it a Wednesday night that we played Chelsea, or maybe a Tuesday night? And they were out on the Monday night before the game. And Frank says, "Don't worry, it'll be all right."
We've heard nothing out of this. We know nothing.
No, well, Frank, I mean, but he was quite a character. And I remember we went abroad on it was a pre-season. Yeah, it must have been a pre-season. Yeah. And he said, "Has anybody seen Frank?" "No, I think he's due back now." And he came back, and he got this woman in this house with him, and half a tree was in the bloody thing.
He was a character. We did have some characters.
Incredible. Yeah, and whenever he turned up at a function, blues or whatever function, his wife used to come with him, and she used to have this.
Yeah, it's his manager, wasn't she?
Yeah, that's right. She had the table and everything. Put the table out and selling all this stuff and that. It was
because the connection there is the rum runner, isn't it? She was at the rum runner, wasn't she? What's his wife's name? It was his. I think she was a model as well, wasn't she? Ended up marrying her. Yeah. I met her a few times. Yeah.
Another story as well. Which, when I eventually left Blues and went to Oxford United. There was a guy, the manager there, I think that's his name now, but he used to manage Huddersfield previously to that, and Frank used to play for Huddersfield as well.
They lived there. He did. Yeah,
and I can't remember the manager. He was telling me this story, and he said, Frank was just starting to stop losing and stuff, and he said. We were going for promotion and everything, and then he sort of stopped playing a little bit, and he said, I decided I was going to come into the training ground on a Monday morning and have a go at him and tell him I'm going to fucking drop him on all this sort of. And so he came, and as usual, Frank was there about half an hour before everybody else, flinging up balls on his legs and all that sort of thing. And so he went over to him and he said, yeah, boss, what do you want? Sort of thing. And he said, look, Frank, he said, we're not going to get promotion the way we're playing. He says, and I'm thinking about, putting you. And Frank was going, yeah, boss, yeah, okay, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. And he said, look, Frank, he said, I'm serious about this sort of thing. And Frank said to him, he said, well, boss, yeah. He said, you know what your problem is, don't you?
Hi, this is Pablo Torre from Pablo Torre Finds Out, and today I want to talk to you about Boost Mobile. Because we spend a lot of time analyzing inefficiencies in sports, overvalued contracts, money tied up in the wrong places, and so on. But those inefficiencies aren't just on a roster. Sometimes they're in your own monthly expenses. Boost Mobile says switching to their $25 unlimited forever plan can unlock up to $600 in savings a year. That's $25 a month for unlimited data, talk, and text when you bring your own phone. If that money is trapped in a pricey phone bill, it might be worth a second look. Visit boostmobile.com to learn more. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers pay $25 per month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan. Savings claim based on a January 2026 Boost Mobile survey of 1,000 Americans with single-line unlimited plans, comparing average annual payments of major carriers to 12 months on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan. For full offer details, visit boostmobile.com.
You worry too much about the fucking game. and the manager, I can't remember the manager's name. He said, "Oh, fucking Frank."
Well, Ian Greaves was his manager.
Ian Greaves, that was him. Yeah, that was him.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if Greaves had him at Huddersfield, but he definitely Greaves had him at.
That was him. Yeah,
Greaves had him at Bolton Wanderers.
Oh dear
God. God rest his soul.
But how did that move come about to Oxford? Well, you were just briefly talking about Oxford, because I mean, you didn't want to leave Birmingham City.
No, well, no, I left when I was there 20 years.
Yeah,
and they let me go in a free transfer and give me a few bob as well. And Ian Greaves was the manager then, and he wanted me there, and so I was there a little while. And that was when. I think I might have a reaction with what was his daughter's name? He owned the club at the
Maxwell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, don't get there. Don't get there with the old Epstein files. You think of the island, did you, Malcolm?
We'll be implicated.
I don't know.
Briefly moving on from the Epstein files, and he ran.
Yeah.
Reserve team football. It must have been fabulous for a young kid.
Reserve team.
Stripes. Did you play many reserve games?
Yeah, quite a few. Yeah. you don't get
You don't get it today.
Details about how many you played,
no,
do you?
not
But
at all, no.
yeah, I must have played quite a few plays for Blues, and we used to play in before you went into the reserve team. You used to go into an A team, I think it was.
Yeah, it was
many years ago.
Combination, didn't we?
And I remember playing Shrewsbury at once
Yeah.
with an A team. We went up and we were playing the Shrewsbury sort of A team thing. And they got this pitch had got out on a play or something, and we learned afterwards it was a prisoners sort of thing. we went down this course onto the pitch, and they were always throwing the bloody conkers.
Certainly living the dream there. Were you on that tour of, it was either Holland or Belgium, when Kenny Burns and Gary Jones got involved in a game of pool with some locals? Proper kicked off, didn't it?
I don't want to know it.
You were there.
Yes, I was there. Yeah, yeah.
He's a big fucker, wasn't he?
How the hell do you know that?
Joe told me.
Who?
Joe Gallagher.
Oh, did he?
Joe told me, yeah.
Well, I think it was, I don't know, Joe, I think, and myself and Trevor Francis ended up sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
Because we saw these people playing snooker and all that sort of thing. And the next thing good almighty, everything went flying.
It did, didn't it?
Oh, God, yes.
That was Gary Jones. I think he felt the bird's arse, didn't he?
I think it was more like Kenny Burns, probably, but yeah.
Jones,
they were quite...
Joe said, any normal person would have just said, can you excuse me, love, can you move? But I think Gary was again another character, wasn't he, Gary Jones?
Oh, we were lucky to get away with that because there was some other...
Oh, he was, didn't he? Yeah.
People in the club and stuff like that I can't remember what the end product was, but I'm still alive to report it anyway.
And Kenny, talking about Kenny. Kenny was the bookie, wasn't he? The one that never used to pay out.
Yeah.
Malcolm, it's been a scream. But the changing face of football, we spoke about that before we started. You know, the academy in those days, you'd have Welsh, Irish. I mean, I remember Paul Fletcher telling me every dressing room was the same. You had the comedian, you had the dresser, you had the womanizer. There was an Englishman, an Irishman, a Scotsman, and a Welshman, and everything was the same. It's completely different now, isn't it? You know, what's your thoughts on that, Malcolm? You know, the British game it's been eroded a little bit, hasn't it?
The only, I mean, what if sort of things me most is really when I look at matches now and the players' reactions to issues and things like that, and I'm thinking, well, we weren't told to fall over and try and get a free kick and stuff like that necessarily, and stuff like that. And it's to me just a little bit of an issue with foul, and illegal. To be honest with you, I don't like that. To be honest with you,
Dico,
I think English football as a spectacle has changed significantly.
Yeah.
But the elements that excite the crowd are exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know,
Scoring goals,
crosses into the box, tackles, dribbles. They're rarities now.
Yeah.
There used to be 90 minutes of that full enjoyment. Now we get sort of about 30 minutes just passing around our 6-yard box.
Yeah.
And you know, some of our goalkeepers aren't that competent.
No. Well, they don't catch the ball now. They elect to punch, don't it? It's the way that they're coached.
Yeah, it's just such a change in... I mean, I still enjoy the 90 minutes.
Yeah, of course we do.
Because I go off with two of my sons, and it's what I like about being a Blue Nose is that I still get the same feeling as a 79-year-old man.
But we're not going to win.
No. The same feeling I get as a 70-year-old that I used to have when I first went there when I was about 10.
Yeah.
And that's enthusiasm, expectation.
Yeah.
Today's the day.
Yeah.
You know? And
every dog has its day.
It's just wonderful to have that same feeling of expectation and excitement. I still get that walking down Capel Road. And it's again, it's a little bit like we were talking about. It's loyalty, really. But I just don't. I mean, I don't follow the Premiership for obvious reasons. But
do you not watch any Premier League football?
No, occasionally I do, but I can't pronounce any of the players' names.
Yeah, sound like my dad. Yeah. My dad hates the flag that comes up. He ain't bloody English. He ain't bloody English.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And I mean, the two guys that cocked up and gave us the winner in the Arsenal side in 2011.
Koscielny and...
I can pronounce them.
Yeah.
So it's been 15 years of non-pronounceable
Was it Chesney, the goalkeeper, and Koscielny?
Yeah.
The two, then Obafemi just smashed
it's
it.
just changed. And the foreign mentality.
Yeah.
At one time, I mean, I never played at any sort of works. But we were told if you got hurt, the last thing you did was...
show it, absolutely.
Show it to the opponent.
Yeah.
Now,
and stay on your feet and try and score.
Exactly, and it's just psychologically it's changed as well in my mind. But I still enjoy it. So, but I think eventually English football will become European football.
Well, I think English football has become European football. It's become a league of the world.
It'll be a European league.
It's like, not corrupt like it used to be in the days of like Don Revie, and I say that allegedly and not allegedly. When we played in the 72 Cup semi-final, telling Malcolm the story, what had happened, Leeds United had beaten Cardiff in an earlier round, and it was Jimmy Schooler who was the manager of Cardiff. Well, he goes back with Don Revie. Well, him and Jack Charlton, Revie and Charlton, had concocted a plan because Schooler had said to Revie, if we'd have stopped Johnny Giles, we'd have probably took you to a replay. So what they'd done, they got the Beaver, Paul Trevelyan, and he was working for the Sunday People at the time. So he wrote an article. Now, whether Freddie Goodwin read the article and decided to do what was in this plan, but the Revie plan, not the one in 56, the one in 72, was to stop Gordon Taylor, going back to the ammunition.
I've heard of this.
The player he feared was Taylor, like you were saying with Alan Campbell, with Trevor Francis. It's not just the forwards, it's the supply line. So he said to the Beaver, do that. So what Freddie had done, he played George Smith instead of Gordon Taylor, packed the midfield, tried to stop Johnny Giles, and Leeds absolutely smashed us. But whether Freddie fell for it, I don't know. Yeah. But that was a cunning plan. And I mean, it wouldn't happen. It couldn't happen today. It was very different in them days. Imagine that now, Pep Guardiola doing that through a national newspaper. What a master plan.
They are. I have to say, I don't like the way that the players themselves aggregate and to win fouls and things like that. That I don't feel is right. But maybe that's just something that
the change in face.
The change in pace.
Malcolm, is there any songs that evoke memories of your time in the blues, the 60s? Was you into your music, you and Mary? What would you put on the jukebox at home?
Well, the only I suppose I would say that when I first had my international cap to stand out on a pitch with a Welsh national anthem, I think I couldn't really see anything more or better than that. To be honest with you, that was my first sort of thing. To be fair,
and 28 games caps that you achieved or you won for your country. The most cap player that we had at the time, Skippy took over, didn't he? Stan Lazaridis for Australia. But you're still the most British outfield cap player that we've had.
Well, I'm not sure.
But you are. You are. Yeah, 100% you are.
But I mean that's it's part me standing there and being proud to accept that. But it was always because of the club
Birmingham,
that I played
absolutely,
with. So that's what's meant so much to me, quite honestly with you.
You played with some great players at Wales as well, didn't you? Gary Emanuel being a Welsh boy as well, played Birmingham City.
Yeah.
What a goal that was, wasn't it? Leicester City away on the ice.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean, your eyes light on that. I mean, what a shot by Gary Emanuel, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Frank, again going back to Frank played in that game, didn't he? Did he say much to you? Frank Worthington played up front to left.
He was moaning and groaning all the way up the top of it. Like
Fucking nice.
Effing and blowing anyways.
We're footballers, not Eskimos.
Nothing to do with him, he was and stuff.
But that was
he was an incredible lad,
wasn't he?
Frank.
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Boys, I think we're are we
Done, yep.
Are we
We're
up
done,
for time?
We've gone over a minute. So
Over a minute, extra time and penalties.
Yeah, we're in Fergie time.
Fergie time, yeah. It did make me laugh. Man United were moaning about Fergie time the other week, weren't they? How times change in football and how attitudes change as well. But and other cups that we played, Texaco Cup. Them games that we played against Newcastle. Tony White getting a leg break with Jimmy Smith as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, God.
That was a bad moment, that wasn't it?
God, I can see that still now.
That was away at St James's Park, wasn't it? That was a game we got beat 3-0.
Yeah. I'll have to remind Tony when I go out to see him tomorrow night.
I bet he was well chuffed.
See if you still
Talk
feel
about our leg breaks.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Keith, any final word from you, sir?
No, thank you. It's been very enjoyable, and sitting alongside somebody I call a friend has been a privilege, and it's all about loyalty.
Absolutely. It's all about the Blues, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once again, Malcolm, thank you for your time, sir, tonight, and thank you for your years of service and loyalty for Birmingham City.
It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Cheers. And thanks for listening and watching, guys. Cheers. Up the Blues. Keep right on.
Birmingham City retro podcast production for Tilton Talk.
This episode is proud to be sponsored by Now, where you can stream Sky Sports flexibly. Catch the biggest games this season how you want, when you want. The football season is back, and you can keep up with all the action on Sky Sports with a Now membership. Whether you're perched on the edge of your sofa or hiding behind it, you can capture more of the drama this season with Now. The heat of the moment, the 90th minute winner, that last-ditch tackle, the pride on the line, and the best bit, you can dip in for the derby or stay for the season. With a Now month membership, you can stream all Sky Sports channels flexibly. No fuss. Go to nowtv.com to find out more about sports memberships. 18 plus, UK only. Minimum speed 2.5 megabits per second. Live scheduling may be subject to change. Full terms apply.
Here's how to stay alive longer so you can enjoy Boost Mobile's unlimited plan with a price that never goes up. Do not mistake a wasp nest for a piñata. Stay alive and switch now at Boost Mobile. After 30 gigs, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.